Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, then run it back.
Woo! Happy Monday. Y'all, we're about to start a show right now. Good Lord. Hi, everybody. This is Run It Back. Welcome. My name is Michelle, Boogie, Chandler, Lou, Will. I'd like to first start the show with a very happy birthday to our good friend Lou Williams.
Thank you.
Yay! And then a belated birthday from Saturday to
sir.
Chandler Parsons. Look at the Scorpios up here, just
Let's
killing
go.
it. Killing it.
Sorry,
and then there's
I'm a little
Boogie.
sluggish
Yours
today.
is what, summer?
Summer.
That's unfortunate for you.
It's all good.
That's all right. It's all good. It works. We got a lot of basketball to get to today. We will start right here in Los Angeles with the Luka news from the weekend. Sham, shout out, broke the news yesterday that he's going to be out for about the week. Got a bit of a finger sprain, lower left leg contusion. It's obviously a pretty big deal, Chandler, considering LeBron's still sitting on that bench. What do you think? How much can they sustain?
Yeah, it's not ideal. Obviously, he's got off to such a great start, and I think they're going to struggle. And as good as Austin Reaves playing, as good as he played last night, even when those both two are in the lineup, I don't know where the production comes from outside of those two. So now you take him out, and I don't know if this gives LeBron James a certain more urgency to get back in the lineup sooner, but it's not going to be good because you look at the roster, that third guy, with whether it's Gabe Vincent, whether it's Marcus Smart, I don't know where that production is going to come from. So obviously Austin Reaves is going to be a heavy dose of him, and he's going to have to continue to be aggressive and try and get 21, 22 free throws like he did last night, and more games like that's going to help. But this team is going to struggle with both Luka and LeBron out. That's pretty obvious.
I'll let Boogie speak to it because this is more his expertise. But the guys that's going to have to step in is going to be Rui and it's going to have to be Aiden. They had good nights last night. They got him past the Kings. Rui throws in 18. Aiden throws in 22. When you have star players that are out, you need those guys to step in the gaps and fill in for you. But they need to do that when they're at full strength. When LeBron is back, when Luka is back next week, this needs to be the version of DeAndre Ayton that we always see. Rui always has to be a guy that's going to bring 15, 16 points to the table. Austin Reaves, killer night. He's been touted as that third option. Big time win. You go get a 50 ball and go get a dub while both of your stars are out. That should be encouraging to the Los Angeles Lakers and then moving forward. But I don't think this is nothing to really panic about. This is a week. This is probably 2 or 3 games. They survived last night. If they can get out of this 500, I think that's a good thing for them. Even better if they can stand in there and hold it down until those guys are back.
I couldn't agree more. You took the words right out of my mouth, Lou. I'm gonna start this with Ayton. I think he showed up, and we did a whole segment of telling him all the things he needs to do right. Hey, well, we're gonna spend this time to tell you everything you did right. You were dominant. You were on the boards. You were a force in the paint. Your motor was going. You did all the correct things to be a factor in that game, and it showed. So outside of AR, being the headline story of that game, I think the key piece of that win was the big fella. He showed up that night.
Yeah, listen, 22 and 15. If he's anywhere near that with those guys out, that's going to go, big time. Rui, 18 and 3. So they're going to have to get that. Gabe Vincent, again, I don't know. I have such high hopes for him after the preseason and what he did in Miami. 0 for 4 in 18 minutes last night. They got to get more from him.
Now, where's Miami Gabe Vincent?
He is that playmaker. He is the ball handler. Marcus Smart, it's not really his game anymore. And you look outside of that, Dalton Connect's barely getting minutes. Vanderbilt's not that guy offensively. So it's got to come from somewhere. And Gabe Vincent's the obvious guy. And 0 for 4 in 18 minutes just isn't going to cut it, especially with those guys out.
I mean, even with Gabe Vincent not showing up to the level we've seen him at in Miami, I think those young guys on the team did their job. They did what they were supposed to do. And to go even deeper into it, I believe you want these guys' confidence high. They have the ability to win the game without their 2 best players on the floor. Yeah. You want your help, or your so-called help or role guys, to have that high confidence like Ayton did, like Rui did. You want them in high spirits. You want their confidence high, and you want them to have the confidence to know they can still go win a game without their stars being on the floor. That's what they displayed.
Yeah, I guess when it comes to Gabe Vincent, it's a couple seasons now he just hadn't found a rhythm in this offense and a flow. Like, just be impactful. You don't got to go out there and be the dynamic scorer that you were in Miami, but just make impactful plays, be in the right positions on defense, turn yourself into a stopper, or say, you know what, I'm going to be the guy that's going to set the table up for everybody else, get some assists out of it. When you look at the numbers, they don't jump off the page, and this is a great opportunity for him to...
But he's hurt. because he did have a walking boot on after the game last night. But they were negative, the X-rays were. So he's just, it's the availability with Gabe Vincent has been, I think, probably a problem.
That's all we're saying, Beadle. While you're available, especially with these guys being out of the lineup, this is an opportunity for you to show, improve, and to add to the fact that this is a team that's going to have a chance to compete in the Western Conference, and Luka's going to need everybody on board. So with him being out of the lineup, these are great moments and minutes for you to go out there and show, improve, and do your thing.
Yeah, the opportunity all these other guys get now will help come playoff time when they're fully loaded. So
LeBron's monitoring, so you have to make sure, you know, he is watching everything.
Always.
Stop me if you've heard this one before, but Luka, okay, 92 points in his first 2 games, but the usage rate, this is where the deja vu kicks in, Chandler. At some point, though, is it too much?
The third game of the season, no. Like I can't point to usage rate and him being tired.
Saying,
again, when you look across the league, this happens all over the place with the Jalen Brunsons, with Luka. So again, I think there has to be a balance. There's going to be some certain rest nights. That's why the minutes that these other guys, like Gabe Vincent, get are extremely important to offload the workload that Luka has. He's always going to have the ball in his hands. He's such a ball-dominant guard. He gets everybody involved. The offense runs through him. Now they're going to do that with Austin Reaves this week, but the usage rate is high, but also he is one of the most elite playmakers in the world. It should be high.
I mean, what is the usage rate though? He's playing 35 minutes a game.
And it's the third game of the year. Like,
yeah, he's playing 35. He's playing 35 minutes a game. That's
minor injuries.
That's about around the minute average that you want your superstars to play. But if he's on the floor and he's impactful, it is what it is. Like the numbers is 46, 11.5, 8.5. That's not a usage rate problem to me. That's Luka Doncic being Luka Doncic.
The whole load management, that maybe comes into play down the season, like later in the season. Like right now, like when I saw Robinson out for rest on opening night. Like,
we're starting it.
It's just to create, like, so I don't know if it's the terminology or what, but like the usage rate should be high.
That's not that's impact to me.
He's a top 3 player in the world. It's going to be high.
That's impact. Again, he's playing about 35 minutes a game. He's about to get a week off with the injuries that he has. But if he's going to be impactful on the floor and every time down the floor, he's making a play, whether he's scoring a basketball or facilitating for somebody else, that's not a usage rate for me. That's why you have somebody that's as spectacular as a Luka on your team to be impactful.
It's just, I get it. It's like it's a thing because he's hurt now, and it's like you point to that.
Where's his finger?
Like,
but I don't correlate these injuries with his.
It happened for the guy that played 6 minutes. So it's part of the game.
It's a finger injury.
Yeah, these injuries don't really correlate with the usage rate. I mean, it's a sprained finger and it's a contusion, which is a bruise. Like those are more like bumps and bruises. So to try to blame it on usage 2-3 games into the season, that's a little silly.
No, we'll check back in and like.
Yeah, let's talk about this game 25.
Then I'd be
30.
concerned. But
but as of right now, I think they're doing all the right things to make sure he's healthy moving forward.
But again, usage to me and to us, I feel like are minutes. If we're looking at a guy that played 43, 44 minutes and he has a hamstring issue, we're having a different conversation. But we're talking about a guy that's playing 35 minutes a game with a finger problem.
And a contusion.
We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
Hey, we're not doing
Bumps and bruises,
We're doing it in February. Come back then. Austin Reaves last night. This is obviously the talk of the town here in LA. 51 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists. He was the dude. Look, he doesn't need to have 51 every night, although it would be very cool, Chandler. But what'd you make of this performance?
Well, it's 3 games. It's a small sample size, but you talk about him not being a third option. 34, 8, and 10. That sounds like a one-option type numbers, but again,
he ran from that triple-double.
It's a little diluted, obviously, with what's happening right now, but it's a hell of a start for him. He's doing everything he can do for this team right now. He's doing, again, we're talking all-star already, like in the conversation. Keep putting up games like this, of course he's going to be in that conversation, but it's early. His opportunity is going to continue to grow with LeBron James out, with Luka out. But again, like we said with these other guys, even when they come back in, I want him to still play like this. I want him to still be aggressive because their team needs it. They need a more balanced attack. They're going to need Austin Reaves, this version of him, even when they're fully healthy.
How realistic is it, though, you keep that? I mean, if the other guys come in, it's not the same.
If we're talking about being realistic, obviously the numbers are dropped, but like he said, you still want to have the same, style of aggressiveness. You want them to approach the game the same way, and like you said, you want them to have that same confidence, no matter if it's just him on the floor or him and Luka or the 3-headed monster, him, Luka, and LeBron. But regardless, this is a good problem to have for the Lakers. Obviously, if you're management and you're looking at this situation, you're a little more comfortable this week.
Yeah, does a game like this change your mind on him not being a third option on a championship team?
I think they've already made their mind up. He's their legit third option.
Conrad in my ear asked me if they can win a championship with this trio, and I accidentally responded with my facial expressions, and I'd like to apologize right now. That was not professional. But
well, we got to see more.
Yeah,
we got to see more. Like,
and they still have to mesh.
Yeah, this is the same group that exited in the first round last year with this crew. I think he can be a great third option. This is a great game. This tells all. Like, I can step in and be the guy when other guys are out of the lineup, and I can carry us to some wins. That was a big win for them last night.
Absolutely.
You know, they played against a veteran Sacramento Kings team that's trying to find their footing. If you allow a team like that to get confidence on you going into the season, that's going to be a problem to deal with. But because you can put this fire out early, get an early win in the season on the back of Austin Reaves, you got to be encouraged if you're a Laker fan. So completely balled out last night. I think he can be a third option on a really good basketball team. But let's see how it pans out when everybody's back in the lineup and he doesn't have to defer to other guys, and how can he fit then.
We also need to throw his name in the hat. We're talking about guys that are really good at drawing fouls and getting the free throw line. 21 of 22 free throws, 22 free throws, 22 field goals. He has now also mastered that skill of kind of the creating contact, throwing the head back, and he's just he jumps into people and gets foul calls. So he is now taking other people like SGA, Brunson, Luka, their game, and now he's doing it just as good.
I mean, why wouldn't you? If it works, keep doing that. Let's play the game where we predict, right? So no Luka for a week. The following games are what they're looking at without him. You got Trailblazers today, Timberwolves, Grizzlies, Heat, and then Trailblazers again. They're 2-1 now. Who wants to guess?
I mean, it's not that
I think they can get out of this 500. I think both of those Blazer games they can go get home and away. I think they can go get this Timberwolves game.
Okay.
Grizzlies and Heat.
Are you just thinking, how could it be 500? Is that what you're thinking over there?
Yeah, no, but then I was like, wait,
I
we're
can
2-1.
see 3 and 2.
3 and 2, I like.
Yeah, I see 3 and 2.
You see
3 and 2.
Everyone's 3 and 2?
I think they, yeah.
I said Timberwolves. I misspoke. I think that's a game that's going to get tricky for them on the road. They haven't been a great road team. History shows us that. So Trailblazer, Heat, I think they can go get those 3.
Yeah.
Might even go get one in Memphis as well.
And by the way, they are just trying to stay afloat. Right now, how banged up they are, everything that they're going through so early in the season. I agree with Lou. I think somewhere around that 500, 3 and 2 range in this little stretch. Then you come back, and then LeBron's even that much closer to being in the lineup. Luka's back. I think that would be a good start.
Let me ask you that, too, because obviously sciatica is just a bizarre thing to have. You just don't know what's happening. But do you think there's a world in which LeBron's like, ooh, I should probably get back quicker?
Not after last night's performance, no. Like I said,
that buys time.
Yeah, I think everybody viewed last night and got a little more comfortable with the situation. I think AR presented himself in the best way possible. He showed that he can carry this team with his other 2 co-stars out. So I don't think it's a rush at all. I think they take their time. Everybody gets fully healthy. And, they try to finish this out strong.
And Beadle, one thing you don't do, you don't rush no old man.
It's a long season.
You can't rush old man.
You can't rush no old man. So
many jokes, and yet I'm going to let them all go.
Yeah, Bron is going to come back when he feels healthy. And again, to Boogie's point, when you see Austin Reaves go out and go get a 50, you see DeAndre Ayton have a good game, you don't want to step on that. Allow those guys to go out there, play with some confidence, and I'll come back when the time is right.
So that was all about the team that's sitting 4th right now in the West. Why don't we go ahead and
go to the top of the rankings.
The team that's at the top of the rankings real quick. Y'all, it's been a really long time, but we're going to talk San Antonio Spurs in the A block. Let's just keep this train rolling with the Wemby. Every day, more words to describe what this young man is doing out there. Spurs find themselves 3-0 at the moment. He is very much a part of the MVP conversation. Second best odds today. Boogie. Look. Playoffs, obviously. But where are we on contending? How far do you think they really
I think they're in the beginning stages of exactly where OKC was when they started to make noise. It's kind of given a similar feel. This is a homegrown team. They did it through the draft. They've developed these young guys. They're continuing to do so. It's a young group that enjoys playing with one another so far that we've seen. It's giving the same, similar kind of, how can I say?
Like how far?
It's a similar setup.
It's the
Look
same
at
vibe,
the makeup of their team. They have an MVP type player, SGA and Wemby, and then they have a boatload of young, athletic, versatile talent around them, and they still have all their draft capital left, so they are in perfect position to even make moves. They're overloaded at guard, so now you have a problem with the all-star type point guard De'Aaron Fox coming back. What do? You have a stud number 2 pick who's been unbelievable so far, Dylan Harper. You have guys like Sohan that haven't even played this season. Kelly Olynyk, Cornette, these guys are in and out of line. They have 4 or 5 guys that are going to be rotation players that haven't even played yet. So that is a great problem to have. Keldon Johnson's been great off the bench. So they have so many ways to hurt you, but it all starts with the big guy. And if he stays healthy, this team is going to win a bunch of games.
Isn't this crazy?
Yeah, Spurs are back.
They're real.
Yeah, Spurs are back. They got a lot of young talent. You know, you got a young guy like Dylan Harper that can come off the bench and give you 20. Keldon Johnson, he can match you for another 20. And we haven't even talked about Wemby yet, right? So
we haven't talked about De'Aaron Fox.
Right.
And Vassell.
Yeah, they're definitely back in the mix, man. I like what they can do in the Western Conference. And the San Antonio Spurs, as an organization, they already represent winning. Then once you start plugging in these young, talented pieces and these guys, they're always going to be a problem. And Wemby is going to be the head of that snake. He's in the lead for MVP super early in this season because of the style of some of these highlights. You know, sometimes we like a sexy play. And he's making these play after play on the defensive and offensive end. Like, he's starting to get clips on both ends in one highlight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, starting to break with block shots and finishing with long three-pointers. Like, it's a great thing to see when the San Antonio Spurs are good. They're going to put pressure on the top of the West for sure.
You know what I like about Wemby?
Tell me more.
Besides everything? The whole summer thing, right? You hear all these stories. Oh, this guy did this. He put on weight. He expanded his game. Whatever he did this summer, whether that was mentally, physically, hanging with the monks, whatever he did, it's paying off. And it's just, he took that next step. He's taken his game to the next
Hanging with
level.
the monks?
Like, whatever the hell he did, if I'm another player, I am taking a page out of that book because it's
Oh, yeah, you're
paying
going to go
off.
hang with monks?
The
No
price
chance.
on monks,
I might do
definitely.
The
it.
monks are going to be like, no.
I'm retired. And I'm
One
thinking
guy and
about
one
doing
guy
it.
only.
He's the only one getting denied.
I think, yeah. Oh, they wouldn't let me in.
No, you're not going in.
They're not letting me in. But
No.
my point is, you hear all these stories about guys grinding, working hard. His shit's paying off. Like, whatever he did, this is because he was great
very
last year.
intense.
He had some unbelievable plays and highlights last year. The stuff I've seen in these 3-game stretches is something I've never seen before.
He's also, like, let's talk stretch. He's also the guy when asked in media day, he was like, he didn't even flinch. He said, we'll be the 6th seed. Like, this dude is not like the others, and it's amazing to watch so far.
I think that's underselling themselves. I think
Thank you.
they can be better than the 6th seed.
I love hearing this so much. There's a stretch last night that is as if it was scripted and performed by a stuntman. Like, okay.
second was scripted.
No, I got nothing. Just watch.
I'm surprised he didn't block that just for fun.
It's so stupid.
Look at this. What 7'6" man does this from 35 feet?
Just one.
Right, see, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Just one.
That's good defense.
you get 2 stops and you start the break and you cash out from damn near half court. And that's your, what position? Is that your center?
Yeah.
What is his
Everything.
position? I don't know.
Is he the
He's 1 through
starting?
5. He's 1 through 5.
Is he the starting center?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, but he's not a center.
Yeah, but he's 1 through 5. I mean, he's
He's 1 through
legitimately
5
1
and
through
the
5.
coach.
He's everything.
Everything.
He actually does that too, because there are plays last night where he's like telling guys where exactly to go next. Like, this is crazy. The Spurs have been great many, many times, but it's never been sensational. Like, I've been doing this national thing for a while now, and no one ever talked about the Spurs, even when they were great.
Like,
they were
how
boring.
could you not?
He's a star. No, they did, Lou. It was like, yeah, they're great, but then they moved on to the next story because there wasn't anything sexy on the team.
How could you not like this guy? Do you think
I
there's like
don't know.
Wemby haters out there?
I'm
Absolutely.
sure.
Like,
I'm sure.
Are you new?
They
Nobody
are
gets
li-
out 100%.
No.
Someone is, it's him. Like, I don't.
These people don't like Steph Curry, and how can you not like Steph Curry?
That's a great point.
I don't know how you just would dislike this guy.
Can we look at the
People that
numbers?
don't like me.
It's people
How
that
good?
just
Okay,
don't like
hold on.
That's also crazy to me.
Crazy.
Boogie, I think you're very lovable.
That's crazy to me.
Thank you.
The MVP conversation numbers, might as well throw them up there so you can see what we're actually even looking at.
Oh my God.
He's the
9
first guy to
blocks.
100
blocks.
points, 3 games. Like,
Yeah, listen, I think it's all about just whether they're going to win enough games. You know the Thunder are going to win a lot of games, and SGA's stats are going to be nuts. You know the Nuggets are going to win a lot of
6 blocks
games.
a
Am I
game.
seeing that right?
Yeah, that's
Why?
not
Did he's had damn near 20 blocks this week.
Bro, he's averaging 6 a game.
yeah.
He has more
Yeah.
blocks than most teams.
He has more
Yeah.
blocks I had in my career in the first 3 games.
He set a historic mark this week.
It's insane.
He got to pass the ball at least. Look.
He needs to get his dimes up.
guy's
He's a bit of a selfish.
One
no,
steal?
no,
Come
no.
on, man.
It's coming. It's coming.
You gotta do
It is
more than
coming.
that.
One steal?
Come on, Wemby.
It's,
See, you guys are
I
going to
need
start
more.
hating. I knew it. It's only a matter of time. 12 seconds. Yeah,
at
first
this
player
guy.
in history to have 100 points, 40 rebounds, 15 blocks through his first 3 games.
No, they ain't no
Give him the
goal
MVP
there.
now, man.
Nah,
Like,
man, they ain't no
if
goal
they are
there.
a top 4 or 5 seed, Is he the MVP?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
So again,
and defensive player.
You know SGA is going to average crazy numbers. You know they're probably going to be the 1 seed. You know the Nuggets are going to win a lot of games, and Jokic is going to damn near average triple-double. So how does he win MVP?
Because they're not supposed to be here.
And also, you know the difference, how it looks. It passes the optics test. This is how it looks. Like, none of these guys, Luka, SGA, Jokic, none of them are going to have clips like we just seen.
No.
That's going to be what sets him apart. All of them are going to have the numbers. But him doing it in spectacular fashion that's highlightable, that creates fandemonium for fans out there that just want to vote for. Yeah, I just pulled one. I just pulled one. But
what about
that's going to create the excitement.
Is there a floor to how many wins the team has to have, or where they finish?
They can't, like the one year Russ won the MVP when they were like the 6 or 7 seed. There was the whole triple-double season. Like,
what about that?
I don't think that's going to happen again. I think teams are so good. There's going to be so many. There's going to be 55 plus.
Like if they finish
teams.
7th.
Be clear, he said 6. They're number 1 right now.
Yeah, they are.
That's what I'm saying. I think they have to be in that top 4 or 5 range for him to actually win it.
Top 4. It has to be top 4?
I think he's there.
And by the way, they should be there.
I think he's.
Because they're only going to get better.
Yeah. After the first week, we've pretty much seen everybody and what everybody has to offer. There's nothing in the Western Conference that's stopping them from being a top 4 team.
And I just think in a league that's so offensive-minded and driven, now you have a guy that's doing both, and he's even better defensively. It'd be nice to reward that.
And they play the Raptors today. I would just like to point out, when I was driving back here in the state of Arizona, shut it, I put a little bet on the quadruple-double that I think he gets one this year. Anybody else want to take that?
Yeah.
I think so for sure.
Really?
I am riding.
I mean, he had 9 blocks game 2.
The assist is going to be the biggest problem.
Okay, that's fine. We'll get there.
And I'm mad if he passes. What are you doing?
Yeah, the quadruple-double is going to come with a weird stat. He might have 10 blocks, 10 steals or something.
Yeah, it could be something weird.
Yeah, it's going to be something weird.
All of us are in. Wow.
I'm in.
Time to be alive. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side, the other end of the spectrum, the Celtics, 0-3, their start. We'll talk about that next.
Run it back, run it up, run it back.
Well, okay, so we usually would start with the winning team, but we kind of want to focus right now. This is a nice win for the Pistons. Cade Cunningham with his 25-8. But the Celtics are in a situation. 0-3 to start this bad boy. Worst start since 2013. Obviously, they're missing pretty important pieces, but as far as the trouble that they're in, Boogie, I mean, I don't know what the light at the end of the tunnel is, and I don't know how it's going to get here. So where are they going to end up finishing? Are they top 5 at this point?
I think this team still has a lot of talent. I mean, obviously you're missing a big piece in Jason Tatum. This also shows how valuable he is to this squad, but they still have enough talent to compete in the East. So I think it's more so they're just in a bad rhythm right now. I think this team is going to obviously improve throughout the year. I think they still need to tweak their lineup just a bit as far as figuring out who's the starters and who's, the bench guys. I do think Peyton Pritchard is being played out of position. I would move him back to that 6-man role where he flourished, and obviously I would like to see Anthony in the starting lineup, but I think they're just out of rhythm, and it's showing. But this team definitely has enough talent. They have the experience to do so, but they have a chance in the East still.
Yeah, it's a tough start, and I think we anticipated this just because of the so much change, right? You take a Porzingis, a Drew Holiday, guys like Al Horford, Kornet, those guys were valuable pieces to the team. And then obviously their best player is out for the season with a torn Achilles. These are new roles, these are new opportunities. Again, what Boogie just said, Anthony Simons historically is a great starting. Peyton Pritchard was just the best 6-man in the world, and they just flipped their roles and took away what they're accustomed to doing. And so I could see that being an adjustment they made, kind of just flipping those two, letting Anthony Simons kind of go in with that first unit, and let Peyton Pritchard run the second unit. I think that is a great kind of change they could do to help. But they're also missing Jason Tatum. That is going to be a glaring hole. It shows you the difference that he makes, just the pressure he relieves from Jaylen Brown, how he gets guarded, the schemes going against Derek White now is what Jaylen Brown saw last year. Now Jaylen Brown's getting guarded like Tatum was getting last year. So there's a lot of adjusting that they're going to have to do. People are still they're gunning for them. This is the Boston Celtics. They're going to get people's best shot. And again, I think it's just a tough start. I think they'll figure it out. I think they play hard enough. They defend enough. Their bench is also not very deep, so their bench is concerning. So the harsh reality is they're not very good right now, but I think they will continue to get better.
Lou, let me ask you this, because they're just willy-nilly switching guys, right? Putting Peyton Pritchard back on the bench. What is the biggest difference between coming off of the bench as the 6-man and starting?
Well, To me, the big difference is when you're coming off the bench, you're a hired gun. You're an assassin. Like, they're putting the basketball in your hands, and they're telling you, either keep us in this basketball game, go earn us a lead, or go push our lead forward. It's a different hat you wear. And then once you start, your job is more to pretty much find a pace in the game, find your spots, try to get other guys involved, pick your spots where you can be aggressive on the offensive end, opposed to just coming off the bench, and that's your job. I think the next step for this team is going to be give Anthony Simons an opportunity to start on this team. That's a position that he's used to. That's something that he's flourished in. And then you got a guy like Peyton Pritchard, who he's flourished in a six-man role as well. I'm all for guys having an opportunity to go from the bench to get a starting job, to further their careers, to have an opportunity to qualify for some real deal cheese. But if it's not working 0-3 so far, you gotta put another guy in that position and put him back on the bench and see if you can get some out of that. But the Boston Celtics, their issue isn't just swapping Peyton Pritchard and Anthony Simons out. I don't think that's their only issue. They lost a lot in the yard sale. You lost a lot of talent, lost a lot of different guys in free agency. You lost your best player to one of your best players to injury, and you're talking about 5 or 6 rotational guys that got you to a championship and were guys that could anchor you to wins throughout the course of the season that just aren't there anymore. And now you're having other guys stand in those positions and trying to win games on the fly. I think they'll clean this up a bit, but it is concerning that they're off to this slow start because the East's not going to wait for these guys.
Yeah, the reality is that 4 of those 7 guys that won the championship aren't there
That's
anymore.
a big deal, man.
That is a big change.
A lot. It's a lot.
And again, look at their bench. The Hugo Gonzalez kid, the rookie, they were high on him. He hasn't played much, and they start him. So Mazzulla, to his credit, he's making some sort of adjustments. Hauser now is thrown into the starting lineup, where he's never done that in his career. Their starting center is Keita, who, we don't know.
They're just not very deep, Chandler.
They're not deep at all.
Can we say that they
They're
cut
just not
too
very
many
deep.
guys? Like, they too many, right? We could say
I think that was the point, especially when Tatum went down.
Yeah, when JT goes down.
I think
Throwaway here?
Yeah, we're going to clear some of this out and we're going to retool.
The sell of the team, too, like that was going to happen. They
weird
didn't want to
timing.
hit that second apron thing.
Yeah.
So there was these decisions had to be made. Now they start off 0-3, so it doesn't look like it was the right decision right now.
Or was it exactly what they thought was
Exactly. Or like you had to have anticipated somewhat of a tough start with this much change.
All right, so hear me out, because you got Derek White and you got Jaylen Brown still on this roster. Is there a world in which a hard restart is a coming? Are we gonna trade either one, both of those guys?
I don't think so.
I don't think you should. Again, Tatum's out. Help is
I
going
know,
to wait. But what is he going to look like coming off an
we're
Achilles?
hard restarting.
But I think you have enough now to compete, especially in the Eastern Conference. What can you get for those guys? Sure. Could I shop them and see what I can get?
Sure.
And see if I can. But I don't think they're in a situation right now where they need to.
No,
burn
it's
on
a
fire
lot
and
of good
start over.
basketball left in Derek White and Jaylen Brown. And if you look at Jason Tatum coming back next year, next season, that's a great start for a core to retool. So you don't throw everything away, especially not these guys. You know what they can accomplish when they're together. They've already shown you that. They did lose a lot in free agency, but it's going to be a line of guys that's willing to come play with JT and JB because they know what they bring to the table as it is.
It feels like that one year at Golden State, which was really bad, and then they end up getting a top pick, and then the next year they bounce back. I kind of could see it going that way, but also I can see them staying in that kind of 5 to 8 range and then being a tough out for whoever gets a 1 or 2 seed in the Eastern Conference this year. I think they have enough. They play hard enough. They defend. They still have a stud in Jaylen Brown and Derek White, Peyton Pritchard.
This is his team now.
Anthony Simons, again, this is new for him. It's a new system. He's played 3 games with the Boston Celtics. He's going to get better, too. So I don't think it's panic time yet, but they're definitely in some trouble.
I'll check back again in December.
Yeah, I think this team knows what their foundation is, which is Tatum and Brown. And obviously, is a rebuild on the horizon? Maybe, possibly, but I do think they'll give these guys another chance after his injury to see what it looks like moving forward. And then that conversation may start later on down the line, or it may not. It may start off where it left off, you know what I mean? So they do have the talent, they do have the foundation, and I still believe they're a playoff team this season. It's just about finding that new rhythm within this new group. They still have the talent, they still have the experience. Obviously not championship level, but playoff contenders in the East, absolutely.
Disruptors, perhaps, when it gets that. By the way, it was reported last week that Jason Tatum is at some point going to try to make it back this season. I know you had the Achilles injury, obviously. So when you hear that, what do you think?
I would say take your time. You're under contract. Take your time. Get fully healthy. There's no need to rush. This isn't a championship season for you guys, obviously based off what it's looking like right now. You coming back from injury, I don't think you're just going to make this huge jump and y'all go run off 20 games. It's going to be an adjustment for him. He has to get used to his body. He has to find confidence in his body again. And it's a mental part in coming back from that injury as well. So it's a lot coming ahead for him. But if I'm him in this situation, I take the year off, come back fresh and ready for next season, and then we get this ball rolling again.
But on a competitive side, if I'm healthy enough to go out there, I'm going to play.
And I'm speaking from experience because I know exactly what that competitive side is like. And it bit me in the ass later on. So that's the reason I'm saying.
And that's something I can't speak to.
Yeah, and that's the reason I'm saying take your time. You're already on contract. Start off fresh and get the ball rolling again.
We don't want any
If I'm him, though, and we get that, like, 6 seed, and we play, like, the Hawks and the third, like, you're not trying.
Because ultimately it's not enough?
You're going to come back?
No, obviously, if he's got to be 100%.
If he was to come back, it would be around playoffs. You're trying to find your rhythm in the midst of the play. I did everything I'm saying I did, and it was tragic. Tragic. So please, take your time, get right.
I got no fight for this one. Yeah. I got
technology,
no fight.
obviously it's improved, but I'm speaking from throwing a guy in the midst of the fire. To return during the playoffs off an Achilles, that's damn near impossible.
I suppose it's all relative, like depending on what the scenario is. I mean, it is the East, so it does feel like a different animal when we talk about it that way. By the way, no disrespect to the Pistons. We are going to discuss that now because, again, they were robbed last season in the playoffs. So here we are picking back up where things were. Sitting at 2-1, they've got 2 nice wins over the Rockets and the Celtics. Cade Cunningham and the group, Lou, they obviously learned a ton last season, bringing it into this season. Are we looking at a year in which they take that next step?
Yeah, I think they turned the corner. I was a little concerned preseason with them, with the loss of Beasley, with the loss of Tim Hardaway Jr. You know, shooting is at a premium in this league. So when you lose 2 sharpshooters like that, you know, I was like, I'm not sure what's the identity of this team. But they came back tougher and stronger. You know, now you give these younger guys, the Durans of the world and all of these other guys, you give them an opportunity to play more and more minutes, more meaningful minutes, and they've done it. Look, Duran throws in 24 last night, Cade Cunningham 25, which is no surprise. Thompson another 21. Tobias Harris is at 8, and then you got Duncan Robinson, that another guy that you bring in that can shoot the hell out of the basketball. Like, that's great. And then you got even more toughness in Isaiah Stewart coming off your bench. That's depth to me. They got a lot of different guys that they can plug in that can win them basketball games. In the games that they can't win, we just gonna fight you. We just gonna fight you. And these guys can speak to that. Sometimes your toughness is going to get you through a lot of games. So this team doesn't lack anything in the toughness category. They don't lack anything in the talent category. They look like a team that's ready to win right now. They're done with all the process stuff. I know that's a Philly term, but they're done with all of the training wheels. They're ready to get out there and really put some pressure on everything that's going on in the East.
Yeah, this team reminds me of a young Memphis group, that grit and grind group, where their foundation is just being tough.
A Randolph
group. They'll knock your head off if need be. I think they're in the right path, and I like the big man duo with Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart. I think they're incredible. They intimidate basically every big that comes through there. So I like this Spurs. I'm sorry, I like this Pistons
I like that
team.
you're thinking about that.
Exactly.
Nice.
I like this Pistons team. Obviously, they're led by a young star in Cade Cunningham, who I'm a huge fan of. So I like this group. And shout out to Bickerstaff, man. He got these boys rolling.
Yeah, I think the Pistons surprised some teams last year, right? I think they just played hard. They're so well coached. Boogie said JB Bickerstaff, I think he's one of the best coaches in the NBA, and he's one of those coaches that guys will run through a wall for. They will play extremely hard for it, and you can tell they do this. So Jaden Ivey was another piece last year. He was kind of on the track to possibly win Most Improved Player last year. He's going to be coming back at a certain point. I hated to lose Beasley and Hardaway. They do add Duncan Robinson and Karis LeVert. He was kind of their big addition. He hasn't really done much this year, but he is a go get 20, 25 points off the bench. He is that guy that can relieve that pressure from Cade Cunningham, but it starts and finishes with Cade Cunningham, and he is a stud.
Number 2 is who?
Well, it's Jaden Ivey, but he's not out yet. Then they got the young kid Thompson, who's kind of making the jump. Both him and
Is that good enough, or do you think they would like?
I think they're still a piece away. I think they're still kind of that solid, go-to second guy that can go and get you 30. But
I think it's Durant.
And
I would love to see Devin
but they
Booker
play
with
so hard. They could beat you so many different ways. What do you say?
Whoa.
I would love to see Devin Booker with this group.
There were some murmurs of that last
A little
year.
chatter. Yeah.
I don't hate that idea at all.
I would love that.
Nothing's going to happen there.
They just don't have that wow star power that other teams do. But again, they'll beat you up. They'll defend. They'll beat you 90 to 86. Like they're that type of team that doesn't exist really anymore.
I think they're developing it though.
Do you think Thompson can?
Thompson's
I mean,
gonna be
obviously
a
we talk
stud.
about his
Durant,
brother
these
a
guys
lot,
are
but-
young.
I was about to say Thompson, Durant, they can be studs. I think Cade Cunningham is solidified. I think his place in this young star power league that we have, his position is solidified. Then come right after that, I think Durant is going to have an opportunity to be one of those guys that can turn himself into a young all-star. And I think the same for Thompson as well.
Thompson's 22 and Durant's 21 years old. Like the future is
Listen,
bright.
let these guys be top 3 or 4 in the East come All-Star break. They might get a couple of guys on that roster.
And by the way, obviously he plays very similar to his twin brother, but the guy's a freak athlete. He gets downhill. He needs to work on his perimeter shot, but he does things like this consistently. He plays hard. He's athletic. He gets out in transition. So this is kind of that guy that can develop into that. But to me, it's Jaden Ivey, and I don't know when he's coming back. But
And also, we got to consider this. If you're American, there's only 12 spots for the All-Star team this year. So we got to figure that part out as well.
Oh, yeah. Man.
A lot of games on a Sunday, which is very weird. But let's talk about another one. Let's talk a little Cleveland, Milwaukee. Yep, enough to hold off the Bucks in this one, Cleveland did. Mobley with 23, Mitchell at 24, 4 and 3. Lonzo Ball had 11 points in that one. Giannis, just a cash, 40 points. AJ Green with 20, but Cavaliers, look, it's obviously last year's start was crazy. I mean, 15 in a row they knocked off. This is a little more down to earth, but still one of the best teams out in the Eastern Conference. No Darius Garland in the lineup still. Lou, we were very disappointed in the Cavs in last year's playoffs. After all of that build-up, what can we expect from them this time around?
Yeah, last year was a letdown, but they were one of the top teams in the East and over the league. I think they pick up right where they left off last year. As you can see, Evan Mobley and Mitchell, they're doing exactly what they did last season, putting a lot of pressure on everybody on both ends of the ball. And I like the fact that I want to shine a light on Lonzo Ball, somebody that's been dealing with a bunch of injuries, coming to a team that doesn't need him to carry a lot of the heavy lifting to do all of those things. So for him to come in and be at peace, come off the bench and set the table for other guys and be aggressive and picking his spots, that's going to be great for the Cleveland Cavaliers for time to come. And we're talking about this team, and they don't even have Garland back in the lineup yet. You know, so you got Merle coming in and playing good minutes for you, throwing in 17s. If this team can be deep as they are, they're going to be just as good as anybody else in the East. They were a 60-win team last year. I feel like they'll knock on the door again with that, especially with where the East is with all these injuries.
And they got DeAndre Hunter back, who I think that was a great pickup last year. He is solid. They're still missing Darius Garland and Max Strus, who's arguably their best shooter. So they are nowhere near to be whole, and I do think this is the best team in the Eastern Conference. I think they're going to finish number 1 in the Eastern Conference. They have that continuity. They have that chemistry. Evan Mobley's taken that next step, too. It's crazy because we talk about Wemby a lot and some of the stuff he does. He's kind of similar, not at that level, but he'll do some stuff that will just amaze you as well, defensively, offensively, with his length, the way he alters shots, the way he finishes. He is that number 2 guy, and then we all know how good Donovan Mitchell is. So this team is going to win a lot of games. They can hurt you in multiple different ways. So they're my favorite to come out of the East.
Yeah, I agree. I think Cleveland.
Wait, hold on. They're your favorite to come out of the East?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're the best in the East by far.
It says New York. Interesting.
The biggest thing for me was the addition of Lonzo this season. I think he has a chance of also, fighting for a 6th Man of the Year award. I think he'll close a lot of games for him as well, as far as, just having the game leveled out towards the end, having that size on the perimeter next to Donovan Mitchell. I think it's just a new look for this Cleveland team. So I think the addition of him and obviously where they left off last season, once again, they'll be the favorite to come out.
Are y'all just dismissing New York? What's happening? What's going on here?
I mean, if we want to talk about it, Chicago is number 1 in the East right now. So
not for long.
Detroit.
A lot is going to get sorted out, but it's hard to ignore a 60-win team, though, Beadle.
I know, but we got burned by doing that last year.
Absolutely.
I felt so burned from that whole experience.
Yeah, if you win 60 the year before and you don't make any change, you bring back basically that same team, I'm riding.
Okay, but can I make a counter argument to that? Play devil's advocate. If you're a 60-win team and you don't make any changes and you leave the way you did in the playoffs last year, why am I supposed to think it's going to be different?
Well, I just think you have that year of experience. You have that year of heartbreak, letdown. You're still weren't fully healthy. They had a lot of injuries last year. And the year before, by the way, they were good too. When JB Bickerstaff got fired, I think got raw into that deal.
Of course.
So when they were fully loaded, they won games. When they are fully loaded, this team is great, and they're still not that yet. They will get healthy. None of these guys are out for the season. They're all going to come back at some point here. They're going to be deep. They defend. They can score. They have a solidified superstar in Donovan Mitchell. They have a star on the rise in Evan Mobley. Coach of the year last year. Like, they have a lot of stuff going for them. They just kind of shit the bed in the playoffs last year.
Pooped the bed. That's exactly what happened. Glad you mentioned Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell in the same thing, because Tracy McGrady said last week that on this particular team, Evan Mobley's the real MVP candidate, and it ain't Donovan Mitchell. Are we buying that? Lou, you know what, Boogie? Why don't you take that one? Because it's
Short and simple. Nope.
Yeah, I don't know.
okay. No.
I think he's valuable. I think he's
It's kind of nuts a little bit.
Donovan Mitchell is the best player on this team.
Yeah,
by
right?
far.
Like I feel like just a couple eyes will tell you that.
You know what? I think this is just T-Mac taking some early odds on if it really goes well for
Plus
Evan
50,000.
Mobley this year. I think he's taking some stock in that. You know, to me, Mitchell is the best player on this team, and I think it's by far. But I think Evan Mobley is the guy on this roster that has the most upside.
Okay.
I think
yeah.
agree with that.
I think
He
that's
also could be like
he has
he could
the
be
most
the X factor.
He has the
of this
most
team.
upside. But as long as Donovan Mitchell is on his basketball team, they're gonna play through Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell's going to average close to 30 and 6 and 4, and he's going to be the reason why this team is the number one seed. Again, impacted on defense and offense. Evan Mobley, he has taken that jump.
Sure.
When you scheme against the Cleveland Cavaliers, the first thing is to stop Donovan Mitchell, not Evan Mobley.
Because you'll have those moments where he just turns it on. It's glorious to watch. We're going to take a very, very quick break. When we come back, more You Buying That. I kind of started it already.
Run it up, run it back, yeah. Run it up, run it back, yeah, yeah.
All right, pretty stoked for some of these You Buying That. We'll get things started right away. Chandler, you're going to take this first one.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? Brandon Pajemski wants Steph and Draymond to pass the Warriors franchise down to him once they retire. Draymond believes that he can help carry the torch. Pods, next franchise player. Chandler, you buying that?
I'm not buying it because those are big shoes to fill. And listen, we're talking about a dynasty here with Steph and Clay and Draymond, those guys. Is he a piece of the future moving forward? Yes, so is Moody, so is Kuminga. There's guys in college right now that are going to be pieces of that future. But
Fair enough.
it's one thing to believe it, like we just talked about. You can believe it, you can say it. I'm not buying it, but I like his game. Everything you hear about him, he works hard, he grinds. I think they like him.
Why
in
are
the
you
organization.
rocking?
You have
Are
something
you
on
well?
your mind?
Yeah, I'm good.
Are you
You want to
okay?
share any words?
But to pass the torch to him as the next Steph Curry of the franchise,
There is no next Steph Curry.
I can't
Can we
buy
just-
that. But I do like his game, and everything you hear about him, he's a great, hardworking kid.
You just threw away those final. He was a great working kid.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Boogie?
No,
Okay, no?
I'm not buying it.
Just gonna say no to everything.
Draymond's a great teammate for, kind of backing his statement. Appreciate that. But, and this is no knock to him. Just like what Chandler said, those are huge, huge shoes to fill. I'm not mad at him for having confidence in himself. I'm not mad at him for believing it. Sometimes athletes are a little delusional. I can say I've been that
How you
way
get
as
to the
well
top.
sometimes. It's all part of the confidence, but no, I'm not buying it.
Wait, one day we need to do a segment where each of you give me your most delusional thought about yourself that you once had during your career. It won't be now. We're gonna work on it.
I have so many.
But well, yeah, you're gonna be like a whole day.
Plenty.
You know, give me a
Chandler
2-hour
gets his
block on FanDuel
special
for that one.
All right, Lou, you're up next on this next one. Ben Wallace said the Pistons would have never won a title if they drafted Carmelo Anthony over Darko Milicic. He said that Melo would have wanted to play right away, potentially messing up the chemistry. He also wouldn't have allowed players like Tayshaun Prince to grow into their role, focusing on their grit and grind mentality as a team. Woo! All right, early 2000s Pistons wouldn't have won a ring with Carmelo. Lou, you buying that?
Not buying. Not buying. I think so. I mean, you draft Darko Milicic because you feel like he's a talented player at 2, right? Ain't that the reason why you drafted him?
Allegedly.
So how you didn't draft him to not play him? It just didn't pan out. I think if you add Carmelo Anthony to that mix, I think him being a young rookie at that time and those guys being veterans, as popular as he was coming out of college, I think he's a chameleon and he would have adapted to what that role is. And not only would they have won championships, I feel like they'd have won with him and then after that, you build a team around him. When those guys exit, and you continue the dynasty on. I don't know if he wouldn't allowed Tayshaun Prince to be who Tayshaun Prince was. I think being with that group of guys from Chauncey Billups to Tayshaun Prince to Ben Wallace and Rip Hamilton, Lindsey Hunter at that time, so many different veteran guys that a young Carmelo Anthony could have been molded around. He would have fit right in with that grit and that toughness like anybody else. So I'm disagreeing on this one, but you know, he's an insider. He's a Pistons great. He knows that identity of that team way better than I would, but as a fan, I think you win titles with Carmelo Anthony at that age.
Wouldn't there have been a chance that Darko would have taken away from like Rasheed Wallace? Because they took him too, so they thought he was going to be really good, right? So that was
I didn't even say Rasheed Wallace.
But think about it, that could have been a risk because they clearly thought he was going to be really good and he was going to be the Hall of Fame type player that Carmelo Anthony actually was. So the idea of being better without taking a Hall of Fame guy against taking a guy that didn't really stick in the league is crazy to me. And again, that was still the same risk because when they take you number 2 over Carmelo Anthony, you think he's going to be that guy. You're going to play him. So that could have also altered the career or the trajectory of that whole team. But nah, I'm not
good
buying
what
it.
if, though.
If you can get Carmelo Anthony, you get Carmelo
like
Anthony.
nobody drafted Darko and said, we're going to draft this guy because Melo is not going to fit in.
Yeah, you can't know that.
Like, no, you wanted him to be a part of what you had going on.
He fit better and was going to be a stud.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't agree with Ben on this one either. We're talking about a guy that won a collegiate championship as a freshman, fresh out of high school, so obviously he can bring something to the game. On top of that, rookie season coming to the league, he was second in Rookie of the Year. A lot of people think he should have won it over LeBron, but he took a team to the playoff his rookie season. So in the West.
I mean, it might just be simply a hindsight personality.
It's absolutely
That's all it was.
Which is fine, but I mean, just based off what he did coming into the league, I think he fits in perfectly, and I think you actually have a chance to win more than one championship. So I'm gonna have to disagree on that one as well.
Dang, we got a whole bunch of no's to the say what's. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. A little more, run it back on the other side.
Run it up, then run it back. Run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up.
We gotta get to this one. John Wall claims there are still a handful of guys in the league that can drink all night, get no sleep, and still go out the next night and score 40. Boogie, you buying that? You're not.
The game don't change.
Yeah, I'll take this one. Yes,
absolutely.
Long night out.
There's some freak athletes.
It's more than a handful.
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about it.
It's part of some guys' rhythm. It's part of their routine. It's a stress reliever. It's therapeutic. It's rhythm.
What are we talking about?
You got. No.
I know, but wait, is there one now, like now that you could say now because everyone's retired and happy and great, is there somebody that stands
the
out?
guy I'm thinking is not retired.
I had a few drunk. I had a few drunk.
I had some of my best games.
Yeah.
Are you naming yourselves? Is that what
Yeah,
we're doing?
I've publicly talked
I've
about
definitely
one of my
done this
drunkest
before.
games.
Yeah, you have actually.
I've done this before. I wouldn't say it was a consistent thing, but I've had some good drunk games.
I was out when I was in a game when I was a late scratch for back spasms in New York. I didn't have back spasms, Boog.
Shocking.
I was hungover.
Oh, I was in New York. I mean, makes sense.
That's what I mean. Have you ever seen that, like a flu-like symptoms in LA, Miami, or New York?
What are you doing?
They are lying.
What are you doing?
That's gonna do it for us. Are we done?
I'm not naming names. I named myself.
He's outing everyone is what he's doing. God.
By the way,
Run it back, yeah.